Mitch McConnell went on a right-wing show. When they asked him about, giving monies to states and cities that are, they're in dire straits. If people are not shopping at stores, it means that sales tax are not being collected. It means that the devaluation of the value of estates and the devaluation of the value of property, etc., means a lot less money into the coffers of the states and the cities, etc. So we do need some federal help there, since while the federal government can print money, they can borrow, state governments cannot. They can only spend what they bring in. So Mitch McConnell said, absolutely, I am not really inclined to do so. One of the things that he also kind of implied is that I am not going to be giving this windfall of money to blue states. Senator from Missouri, Claire McCaskill, somebody that is a bit too conservative as a Democrat for me, had the perfect answer. And I want you to listen to this and we'll take it on the other side. Well,
I'm so glad you're going to give me a chance to get a piece of Mitch McConnell on this. He is a political animal through and through. Political power is what he cares about. It's what's motivated him. It's the only thing that has motivated him his entire life. So he was playing political games very irresponsibly. And the thing that really burns me about this? Mitch McConnell, his state, takes almost $150 billion from the federal government, more than the people of Kentucky pay the federal government. $150 billion they get. You know what New York does? New York gives the federal government over $100 billion of money they don't get back. So for Mitch McConnell to want to lecture, and if you look at the states that are largest donor states to these states like Kentucky, where they're taking in more federal money than they're paid in federal taxes, it is New York. It is New Jersey. It is Connecticut. It is the state of Washington. It is the state of Illinois. These are the favorite targets of Mitch McConnell and, frankly, the president. And those are the states that are giving more so other states can have more than they pay in. The notion that he thinks they need to be left by the side of the road is so unfair. And Mitch McConnell is already in some trouble in Kentucky. This ought to get him in more trouble around the country. People ought to get really even more focused on taking him out of power and the Democrats taking over the Senate.
You're living in a red state. More than likely, you are a welfare state, which means Kentucky, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, all these states give less to the federal government than they take out. In other words, states like New York, California, Washington, they all put more money into the federal government so that that money can be transferred to these welfare states. Senators that represent welfare states, senators that don't collect enough taxes in their own states to pay their own bills, senators that don't educate their people, senators that don't do all the things that these blue states do. When the new tax law was passed by Trump, they went ahead and stopped allowing these states from deducting a whole big percentage of their income taxes, sales taxes. Now, what they don't tell you is that these states have all these high taxes because they invest more in their people than these red states. So these people are in general more productive and they produce more. And that productivity shows up in the amount of taxes they pay. But the red states now, they don't invest in their people. They keep their people we're talking in the aggregate now. They keep their people depressed. And in so doing, the blue states have to support the red states. The irony is, as they're supporting these red, to listen to red state governors and red state senators talk about those high tax blue states. Well, the high tax blue states are educating their people and sending the money to you guys to feed you. Let's get it right. So there's nothing to be proud about a red state that has a lesser tax base than a blue state who has a large tax base because of what they're investing in. You come to Texas, you get sick, you die. We have the best hospital system in Texas. But if you come to Texas and you don't have a job or you don't have the ability to buy private insurance, you die. It doesn't happen in California. It doesn't happen in New York. It doesn't happen in D.C. It doesn't happen in Washington State. All those red staters who are talking about we have low tax rates and so forth, remember, the reason you have low tax rates is because your government don't mind that you die. Your government don't mind that you actually cannot get educated appropriately. Remember that. It was great that Claire McCaskill made it quite clear that this guy has to remember one important thing. he is from a welfare state dependent on those blue states who he wants to cut their income from, okay? I'm Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, an independent news program. I post several news videos of interest every day. I ask you so kindly to subscribe to my channel, and please leave me some comments. Thank you very much.